What's up, boys? Today we're checking out some Cosmic Coliseum. I recently unlocked this new guy who has a passive where his weapons fire from orbital drones and you gain an extra one for every 10 levels. So that sounds absolutely insane as you get to high levels. I haven't actually seen it yet, but that sounds absolutely ridiculous once you get a few of them going. Let's see how this works. So the thing about this game is that most of the items in the game are part of an item set, and once you finish those you can get some pretty crazy bonuses. Let's see, 150% damage, we lose a bunch of fire rate, which is actually kind of unfortunate since there's some cool proc effects, but oh well. Yeah, once you get a bit of meta progression you can get 2 of these at the very start. XP gain 10%, okay, not bad. I think there's 2 other XP bonuses we can get. One legendary and 1 gold, and then there's also an item set. So you can see attract XP gems from the entire arena, and that happens when you get all 3 of these. Launch a drone that drops grenades. Launch asteroids that damage all nearby enemies. Oh, I've gotten that one time. It's actually pretty funny. It takes up a huge portion of the screen and just absolutely splatters anything it hits. Bullets have infinite range at 100% penetration. Let's go for basically any of the XP related stuff so that we can get as many of the drones as possible. Damage, crit chance, credits. Nothing super important. Let's see, any of the bonuses that we really want. The nuke sounds cool, slow moving warhead with massive area of destruction. The crit set's pretty nice, but I haven't seen that one yet and it sounds awesome. It is pretty hard to get an entire set, so really focusing the XP stuff early on does make that a bit easier. That one's pretty good, but it's not a portion of any of the sets. Oh, that one's actually interesting, because I think that's a permanent bonus. You take 10 damage, so we can get potentially 6 stacks of that on this round. So we're at 175% damage. That's pretty good, but I think we're gonna try that for the permanent scaling. Can I take some damage here? So yeah, I guess that is permanent damage. That seems kind of nuts with a very high HP character like this early on. I'll take a couple more hits, but I don't want to go super greedy. So that's part of Doombot, slowing down enemies. Critical hits restore 1 ammo. That one's very good. Looks like I do still use ammo on this guy. Enemies hit take 50% damage. So that's probably better on a slow weapon. We have a fairly fast firing one. We'll go ahead and try that and see how it works with the drones here. So that means an elite enemy is spawning, I think. Let's see, a bunch of different stats, movement, reload, crit chance. I think we'll take this now that we have the ammo thing that triggers on those. So we need 4 more levels to get an extra drone. I think going down to 40 is good enough for now. We can do a bit more of that later if I really feel like it. A bunch of different stats. Enemies hit take bleed damage. An absolute ton of different stats. A drone. I think we've got to take the legendary with that many different stats. That's insane. So we got ammo and then the jack of all stats there, I think. What's that put our crit chance at? 15%, so I guess we didn't get any on either of those. Moving damage, health. 10,000 currency when the player takes damage. That's actually interesting since we're also getting the damage from taking damage. And then we could get some HP increases later on to go with that. So every once in a while we'll get a shop that opens up over here. I think it's potentially every 5 minutes. If you avoid killing an elite, you get an extra shop for some reason. But if you kill all of the elites, I think you still get one every 10 minutes. First bullet does 25 damage. That's actually really weak now that we have the ammo restore on crits. Player takes damage, all nearby enemies take damage. I guess that kind of fits with the build. Rate of fire plus 40%. Yeah, that set bonus sounds really cool. 800% rate of fire, you do a lot less damage, but it's extremely good for triggering on hit stuff. Let's see, it is part of the mini nuke, so we could do that. Unfortunately, we're not finding a lot of the XP items right now. One more level and we finally get our extra drone. $25% more in-game currency, so that would be the credits for the shop. Rate of fire 20%, range and bullet speed, lots of rate of fire. Not really a part of anything. There are a few very strong shop items, so I guess we should grab that early on. I think I've seen a very expensive one that like doubles your current stats. So if you can get it at a fairly late point of the run, it just makes you completely overpowered. But I think it's 300,000 credits, so it takes quite a bit to get to that. Every time you level up, release a pulse of energy, secondary skill, crit damage chance, damage. That's part of that set. We have one there already, sure. Also gives us more ammo restore on the crit thing. Dang, why he gotta call out my husband's skills like that? Ammo, rate of fire, bullet speed, damage. Any sets we want to go for there? Ammo crates drop and trigger a wave of bullets. Sounds kind of cool. Never seen that one before. I think I've only actually completed 2 sets ever across a few runs. It was the asteroid one and maybe the axe. Don't quite remember the second one. But the asteroid was really cool. When stationary, damage plus 80%. It's pretty hard to use. Is there a way to see your current upgrades in the run? I don't think so. Yeah, it doesn't seem like there's an inventory or anything. Some of the stacking items will sometimes have an indicator over here under your level, but it doesn't look like any of the ones we have use that. Movement damage, crit chance, XP pickup range. Mini bosses and bosses drop 20,000. So it's between these two. I think we'll grab that one so we can grab some cool shop stuff. And I guess we should probably take one more hit at least, get that damage and credit bonus a bit higher. I don't want to get super low because some of the bosses have some very nasty ranged attacks. In fact, one of the best legendary items in the game actually makes you immune to ranged attacks, and it's just so good against the insane bosses. Activates a drone that hovers near the player. Meta currency. I actually don't really need that too much. So I guess we'll take the damaging thing here. Oh, I guess you get an actual boss every 5 minutes, and then you can use the shop ahead of time. So at 159 ammo plus 6, that's actually close to useless for this build. I think this is the stat doubler thing. We definitely can't buy that yet, and it becomes a lot better later on since it's based on your current stats. Secondary skill spawns a vortex. Enemies killed by an ice round emit 3 damaging ice shards. I don't know. Maybe that means for anything because they're the ice rounds? I'm not exactly sure on the wording on that. All stats plus 20%. Oh, I think this actually gives you an extra 20 HP as well. So we can grab this for a decent boost, and then we can take more damage for the 2 things that scale with that. And then later on we can try to get the doubler for everything. Yeah, we're up to 50 HP. And then our stats in general are a decent bit higher. It doesn't seem to increase XP though, I think. That's unfortunate since that's the main stat I want to get as many drones as possible. Damage, lose some stats, movements, reload, no damage for 3 hits. I guess we'll just grab one of these to eventually try and get the grenade drone. Take at least a little bit more damage here. What does that put our damage at now? 540% already. Bullet speed, bullets ricochet. Oh, that one's really fun, even though we probably won't be able to finish that. No damage for 3 hits. Ammo, rate of fire. I really want this one, even though that brings us pretty close to that. The bullet ricochet is just so nice. Drone that hovers near the player and attacks enemies. Not bad for our drone build. I don't really like losing so much range and rate of fire. And it's not part of a set anyways. Attack bot that generates an electric field to damage enemies. Health. That's actually pretty good now that we want to take damage as much as possible. I think I'm gonna do it for that. crit chance, reloads. I think we'll grab that, bring it up to 3 pieces, and then we'll be at about 40% crit, which will probably give me infinite ammo now with the ricochets and extra shots. Is there a way to turn off that sort of screen shake as you move around? That's a little bit annoying. Doesn't look like it. Whee! There's an item that gives you damage based on your current number of credits as well, and I found that if you buy the stat doubler item, it actually fully works with that. It doubles your current amount, and then it takes the credits away after that, so you just get absolutely insane damage from that. Don't have anything there yet. Kill one enemy at close range. Secondary. Ooh, number of projectiles +1. If that doubles each drone, it's insane. If it doesn't, then it's probably bad, actually. I've never actually seen something at purple rarity before, so I'm not sure if you can even complete this set, but the passive alone on this one sounds pretty cool. It looks like every drone is at 2 now. Next set of upgrades will contain 1 legendary. Okay, that's pretty good. There are some very strong legendaries. Resurrect 1 time with 100% of health. That's actually really cool with the damage taken build, because we can do another like 9 or 8 instances, I guess, of that. XP gain plus 30%, that's very good early on. I kind of want to do this just to really push the one thing we've got going on this run as much as possible. Damage 40%, no damage for 3 hits. So, I think they're based on damage taken, right? So that probably doesn't work. And then I think we're actually going to pop that now for the lulz. When we go down to 0 seconds on this, I think we get another shop here. So we can now take another 9 instances of that if I really want to. We're already at 532% damage. Damage nearby enemies on reload. Attack drone that fires homing missiles. That sounds pretty cool. We don't really have much in the way of set bonuses going for those. So I think what we're going to do is probably take a bunch of damage on the boss here, and then get the stat doubler on the next stage. So we'll take this to get some more stats to go with that. So we'll go to the next arena and then grab that. Is there anything else here that gives really good stats? Ammo is completely useless to me. That doesn't matter. I'm not really sure what that does. Oh, if we heal up 10 health, then we get that back, right? I think it was 20,000, and we get a little bit of extra damage, so that's fine. I don't know what that thing is. So I actually need to make sure I don't kill the boss too quickly here and I take a bunch of damage from him to really maximize that stuff. My ricochets are kind of destroying him though. So there's like body parts on him and only some of them are damageable depending on which ones you've already killed, so I was trying to find the last one there. Ammo, rate of fire, pretty good. Damage, over 80%, that's okay. That's completely useless now that we never reload. So we got a ton of credits, and we're up to 756% damage. And then I think the runs are 2 stages each, so we'll have another shop here to buy the doubler at some point. .5% for every level. I'm not sure if that's retroactive or not. We can finish that for the ammo crate thing now, and I've never seen that before, so that would be interesting. Yeah, let's go ahead and try that out. A wave of bullets. I hope that's not a reload only thing. Okay, it looks like we just got one nearby. I think. Oh, you open it and then it probably reloads your entire clip, which isn't really a thing for me, but we still get the wave of bullets at least. Do my bullets bounce off the chest? Rate of fire, no damage. Okay, that's actually pretty nice so that we don't die here. Enemies and the flashlight are 80% slower, 25% fire rate, 15k credits. Oh, we can do the combo, 0.5%. So that would be 50% for every 100,000. So that would be over 250%, which Actually isn't that much when we're that high, but still, we've got to do it. 978. Shouldn't it be a little bit higher than that? Rate of fire, movement, and reload. One thing to note is I think bullet speed actually does reduce how far your projectiles travel, sort of like Path of Exile. Reload movement, damage. So that gets us the drone. We do lose some stats, and damage actually isn't very useful when we have that much, but we'll check out the second set bonus here. Minutes and 40 seconds, and we'll get our shop, and hopefully we still have the stat doubler. I think it's always in the second shop here. .25% range, crit chance, not bad. Reload, bunch of stats, attack drone that fires homing missiles, damage 25%. I think we'll take this for the stat doubler soon. Oh, I didn't even notice that was for the axe thing. Looks like we completed that. Okay. So we actually got 3 sets here as well, even though I missed out on the early XP bonuses. But this is still going to be an absolutely insane run once we get the doubler here. Rate of fire, damage, bullet speed damage, lose some rate of fire, crit damage. I think we'll probably just grab this one. As far as I'm aware, there isn't any sort of reroll or banish system in this game. $20,000 credits, that gives us a little bit of damage, I guess. Range 50%, XP pickup range. I don't think any of these is super important. I guess we'll just go for the absolute maximum damage for the lulz. So we're at 1010. I don't think that went up with the 20,000 there, did it? 85, 230. Oh yeah, I'm curious what will happen to that when we double. Oh, we don't have it. Every single run I've had so far had the doubler here. No, I messed up. Damage 100%, that's not the greatest now. 50% movement speed. Chance to call down guided missiles. Sounds cool. We may as well just grab a bunch since, well, yeah, I guess this will be the same shop once we get down to 0 seconds here. May as well take that and then do the damage taken stuff some more. That doesn't do anything. So I guess this will increase the damage a little bit, and then we'll just hold the rest for lots of damage. Oh yeah, does this trigger when we take damage that's blocked by that one thing? 1090. Looks like no. Still completely insane on this run, but we could have been double insane. Oh yeah, I do actually want to lower my HP a bit. Movement, reload, call down lightning, 10 damage. SP pickup range, secondary skill. Let's go for the lightning proc. We have a ton of hits with all the drones and their extra projectiles. And if my percentage damage works on the lightning bolts, they actually will be pretty good still. Alright, that's probably good enough for now. 34% damage. 500,000 credits. After you bought basically everything useful there. Credits, bullet speed, damage, lose rate of fire, range bullet speed. That rate of fire kind of hurts though. We could get a bit back with that. Ammo, rate of fire, range 100%, crit damage. That's probably the most damage, but I want some of my rate of fire back, and 10% damage is nothing to me. It's kind of weird when you occasionally get those little rocket trails directly in front of the camera, and it like blocks your view quite a bit. That's crazy that they can take like 3 or 4 hits when I have 1153% damage. Every time you level up, release a pulse, 40,000 credits. I guess we can try out the set bonus for that. Explosive gold coins in every direction. That doesn't actually cost me coins, right? 637, 677? Yeah, I don't think so. We're just dropping a couple coins on the ground for some reason? That doesn't really seem that impressive. Oh, I guess they're little landmines that you pull enemies over. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. that? 75,000 credits. As bullet does 25. That's completely useless since we have infinite ammo now. But it would bring us one piece away from the mini nuke, so I might actually take that. Just so that we can try to get plutonium to finish that off. We got the credits back anyways. Secondary skill cooldown speed. Damage every second to all nearby enemies. Oh, that's the last one. Slow moving warhead with massive area of destruction. Here we go. Yep, that's a massive area. I can't see anything under it, but I'm guessing it probably kills everything with our damage increase. Then I don't think the shop refreshes here, unfortunately. Damage 50%, reload, rate of fire, bullet speed, rate of fire. If we get that, then we just need trigger finger to finish that, and that sounds hilarious. I don't really like losing the bullet speed, but we'll try for that as well. Yeah, empty shop, nothing we can really do there. We can get some healing. Then some energy shield, cause why not? So for the final boss, we have 1201% damage, 330% bullet speed, 160 range, 70 reload. That does nothing. 64 and 30 crits. That's about it. Oh, that's actually bouncing off the front of them. We have to destroy the parts on the side, it looks like. I don't know what's happening, but the screen is very red right now. We got up to almost 1,000,000 credits there. So yeah, level 40 for the maximum drones would be fairly hard. I think you would have to get all of the XP items fairly early on. The 30% legendary, the 20% gold, and the 10% silver we got there. 200,000 meta currency. I think that easily maxes me out. on the stuff currently in the game. So you get the free chests off of these two, which cost quite a bit, but most of them are only 25,000. And now we are completely maxed out here. But that's going to be it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.